Health is something that Americans are becoming very conscious of. But what is health? Many people just think of being physically well as being healthy, but that's not the case. There's many aspects of health, and today we're going to talk about three, including physical health, mental health, and social health. All are important and need to be equally recognized. But like I said, many people think of being physically well as being healthy. So let's start by talking with some people about physical health and how they maintain it. How do you maintain good physical health?
Some ways to maintain physical health are eating things in moderation. So, not necessarily getting rid of foods such as sweets or certain types of meats, but eating in moderation. Also, finding physical activities that you enjoy. So, finding group exercise classes that you like, or just playing sports that you like on a regular basis. But making sure that you get in physical activity at least 30 minutes a day, every day.
So you mentioned physical activity and nutrition. Is one more important than the other?
They're both equally as important when pertaining to your physical health. So you need a good nutrition in order to be able to participate in physical activity. And participating in physical activity will allow your body to be hungry at proper times, so you won't be hungry all the time, or you're not hungry at all. So they both correlate with each other. You need one to work with the other.
So what problems do you think Americans have with physical health?
I think the biggest factor for Americans' poor health is their diet. I think people are very neglectful of what they put in their body, and that they just will eat any processed foods or anything that's more convenient for them than what's healthy for them.
So how do you think Americans can fix this issue with their physical health?
I think it would be interesting if marketing campaigns were done to pursue diet in the same way that they're pursuing cigarettes right now. I think if you scared people, you'd make them think a little bit about what they're putting in their body.
So, as we've said, physical health is a combination of physical activity and nutrition. Physical activity is something that's ingrained in us from when we're young, taking PE in school and having recess during the day. But a lot of times, nutrition's overlooked. We have a fast-paced American lifestyle, and so a lot of times it's easier just to grab a pizza or grab a burger from McDonald's. But it's important that we teach our children the importance of having a well-balanced diet. But as we've said, physical health is not the only type of health. Mental health is frequently forgotten, and people forget about how important mental health is. So, let's take a moment to examine the importance of mental health and issues that occur. What would you say is the biggest problem with mental health?
I think the biggest problem with mental health is the lack of education or understanding of it. There are so many different diseases or things that are out there that we just do not understand. And no amount of research or surgery or anything we can do can help us to understand it. So just the lack of knowledge.
How do you think we can make people more knowledgeable of mental health?
We can make people more knowledgeable about mental health by talking about it. I feel like a lot of people just try to sweep it under the rug or hide it, or they just try to diagnose people with problems as opposed to trying to understand what's going on with them and allowing them to talk and have conversations about what's going on with them. So talking about mental health will make people more knowledgeable about it and make people more interested in knowing what's going on.
So, as you can see, mental health is frequently overlooked. A lot of patients that might have mental health issues may be embarrassed or fear that people may make fun of them. But it's important to remember that mental health is no different than physical health in the sense that it needs treatment. But after talking with people about mental health, I realized maybe children have mental health issues too, as opposed to just adults. So, let's talk to Melissa about how children are affected by mental health. So Melissa, you're in school psych, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell us a little bit about that and how that plays out.
So I'm a school psychologist, and school psychologists work in a variety of settings. Some work in schools, and some work within clinical settings or hospital settings. Some work in research. So we really do a variety of things, but mostly whatever setting we're in, we are working to benefit children.
Okay. So in school psych, Is it very common to have mental illness in children?
Yeah, it depends on the setting, but definitely school psychologists work with a lot of children who have a variety of different mental illnesses.
Okay, and do you notice the mental illness playing out differently in children versus adults?
Yeah, there are different features for children with mental illness, and specifically the way children present with mental illness may look different than it does for adults. So for example, a child with, let's say, post-traumatic stress disorder, they're going to have a lot of different presentation symptoms than you might see in adults. They may have a lot of behaviors that just seem atypical and unexplained for the child. They may be bedwetting, frequent crying, nightmares. They may start acting out when they didn't used to. They may be more irritable than they used to. And all of these other symptoms that would present in a child may just look a little bit different than what it does when it presents for an adult with the same or similar diagnosis.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
After speaking with Melissa, it becomes very apparent that mental illness can also have an effect in children. It may not play out the same way, but it's important to realize that it can occur and monitor your children to make sure that everything's okay mentally. But moving on, let's talk about another form of health that's even less recognized than mental health. Social health is something that a lot of people don't think about because it's such a natural occurrence, but it can play a very important role in your life. So let's talk with some people about how their social health plays out in their life. What do you think having a healthy social life consists of?
I think keeping a healthy social life just consists of being social, allowing yourself to be around people, allowing yourself to be open with people and talking to people. That'll allow you to have a healthy social life. Finding out what works for you socially and what doesn't, and understanding the type of people that you like to be around will also help you understand who you are, which will improve your social life.
Do you think having alone time is part of having a healthy social life?
I do believe having alone time is part of a healthy social life. Having alone time allows you to reflect on the time you spend with other people. Gives you the time to, listen to yourself, have conversation with yourself, to better understand who you are and what you like. So yes, alone time is very beneficial for a healthy social life.
So why do you think social health is important?
I think humans have an innate desire to try to be social and be around one another, but I also think it's very crucial to the other parts of your health, such as your physical health if you drink too much and are too social. Or maybe if you're more social, you surround yourself with friends who bike or do other social things that benefit your physical health.
A lot of times, social health is even more unrecognized than mental health. It's important to remember that all of the aspects of health can affect each other. For example, having a chronic illness, such as cancer or diabetes, can lead to poor mental health by causing something like depression. In the same way, having poor social health could lead to poor mental health if a person's lonely and depressed, which in the end could lead to poor physical health if the person's not taking care of themselves. Having social health is not just about being social, though. Like we've said, having alone time's very important to have good social health for a person to recharge themselves. In the end, all aspects of health are important, and you can't forget about any of them. So let's go out and take control of all of our aspects of health.